Dragonball Daima Episode 3, titled Daima. And I'm not gonna lie, if Goku did what he did to the bandits to me, I think the result would be the exact same thing. Let's talk about it. Alright, guys, Brett, you're back for Geek Variants. Cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Dragon Ball Daima Episode 3. And I gotta say, this one was an exciting episode. It's been probably the best episode of the series thus far. And Akira Toriyama, I'm still quite happy with the work you did as your last project. And may you eternally rest in peace, grandfather of all anime. Because I gotta say, he is delivering as far as the storytelling is going. We started off this episode kind of learning more about the demon realm and like how travel is done between the realms. We see that there's overall three travel ports, and overall the first world and the second world kind of have free passage to and from wherever they please, as long as you're from a royal family. The third, things tend to be a little bit more stringent as far as travel is concerned. And from what we're seeing so far of the third world, it seems kind of like the outworld, or basically the least popular of all the demon realms. It seems to be the one in the poorest state of condition. So, as far as things are concerned, third world, third realm, basically about the exact same equation. But honestly, who let Goku have the conversation at all with Warp Sama? Who in the world has met Goku, thinks, you know what? He's an excellent negotiator and should be left in charge of these sorts of things, and then leave him in charge, having a conversation with a basic deity as far as travel is concerned to and from realms, and then lets him continue to call that one character a goldfish. Why did we think this was okay? Why did we think this was a good idea? I think Glory of all people should have had he gets the benefit of the doubt of saying, "Hey, I don't really know Goku that well. All I know him is from fighting, and as far as fighting concerned, hey, Goku's pretty great." As far as a negotiation, I think Supreme Kai has seen enough of him to know and to realize that not only one, he should not be negotiating, and B, you should have covered his mouth significantly sooner than you did. Luckily for them, Warp Sama allows them to pass because Glorio then starts handling all the negotiations. Warp Sama wants to see everyone's ears just to confirm that they are, in fact, from the Demon Realm, which could be an issue for all those trying to make their way into the Demon Realm. As we all know, that Piccolo and Kibito are probably the only two that will have natural passing ears. And on that note, we see that they're able to get in and then transfer from one world to the other. They use magic on Goku's ears to make them pointy, just for that time being, which I'm sure would be like a figure exclusive that at some point Shonen will try and make it be kind of a limited edition run. Considering this the one time we've seen Goku have ears like that. But now that we're inside the demon realm, we kind of see how some of this world works. And honestly, it's a lot more scenic and a lot prettier than I would have initially anticipated, to be honest. It seems to be, even though somewhat of a barren landscape, we still have floating volcanoes, we still have natural life, natural vegetation, we have dragons, we have dinosaurs, typical stuff that you'd see in a Akira Toriyama stylized world. And the interesting thing about the third demon realm is the fact that you have floating volcanoes, which produce and emit a gas that makes the air naturally heavy. So basically, when everyone is kind of like slowly getting their bearings, because Supreme Kai hasn't been to the demon realm in a long time. And what from we learned about him with his conversation he had with Glorio on the ship, he would have been initially from the second demon realm. And in fact, he would have basically been from one of the higher end families. So there still seems to be a lot of classism going on, at least between the couple demon realms that we've seen exist. And Glorio and Supreme Kai seem to be kind of eyeballing each other to an extent. Don't really seem to be trusting each other and what the intentions overall is for all parties involved. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do to kind of narrow in that scope, because Supreme Kai was asking Glorio some rather pertinent questions that I think we're all asking. Glorio, while being a cool character, very vague background, he's not from one of the realms that has natural levels of travel, but he works in that realm. And then when he was pressed about what work he does and which realms he goes to, he says he does a bit of this and that. Yeah, you're probably like an assassination or spy expert in some level regard, hence why you were hired overall by the third demon realm and their third king in order to make, everything going on with Goma stop, which, hey, the enemy of my enemy, is my friend for the time being. So I guess we won't have to kind of deal with how things are going to be figured out as far as King Gadan versus, our main villain moving forward. They eventually land and find a place to hang out after they are attacked by bandits, which seem to be a whole lot of nothing. But we see that Glorio is not only good at his job, but he's fast, he's strong, he thinks on his feet really quickly because the bandits have the high ground. So he dodges all their shots of bow and arrow, uses his laser gun, shoots the bridge, knocks it down. Therefore, the bandits are stopped at that moment in time. Ultimately, they go to a hotel because he's like, hey, you guys are probably tired. Let's get some sleep real quick. Then I'm going to go take you to my king tomorrow. Ultimately, they end up, going to a hotel where the hotel owner is a bit sleazy and is trying to extort them for money, only for Glorio to basically grab him by his collar, pull him in, and be like, hey, your price is unacceptable. And ultimately, instead of 30,000 yen, it is dropped to 5,000 yen. And people who are not from Japan may think, wow, that's still not that big of a drop. Basically, he saved 500 bucks easily, US dollars. So that's something to think about there. Save your money on hotels because $500 for a hotel for one night is a big extravagant. So they were able to fix things overall as far as the pricing is concerned. So, with everything we've seen kind of going on here, we've seen that ultimately now we have Goku, who's of course still hungry before bed because even though he just had a feast, he farted in the plane, he talked crap to the fish, then he still decides, hey, I need to go get a bite to eat. So they take him to the bar across the street. As Goku is just chowing down on food, they get attacked by bandits. Glorio handles one or two of them and then decides to just have another drink and just kind of mind his business, as all the bandits kind of take turns attacking Goku. And of course, Goku, being the most disrespectful character in all of anime, decides to continue to eat his meal while he's kicking everybody's butts, in turn and in sequence, embarrassing everyone even further than they needed to be before. So not only has Goku insulted the Lord of Travel in their area, farted in Glorio's ship, then he decides to keep eating while landing a butt whooping on you as a person. I'm not only disrespected, but I'm irritated, which has led us to the next point with the bandits. The bandits, in turn, while Glorio and Goku and Kai are sleeping, decides to take his ship and leave us God knows where, because now we're down a ship. They left the axe as a little bit of a calling card to at least try and find them, because they're going to try and rub it in their faces some more. So next episode, we'll pick up seeing what Glorio, Goku, and Supreme Kai will be able to do as far as fixing everything that is going on as we have been planejacked. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button and stay tuned for all the latest on everything involving Dragon Ball Daima, Dan, the Penguin, and the upcoming finale for Agatha All Along. I've been Brent for Geek Variants. Thank you for your time, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.